Hello, hello, hello. Okay, the end of the war. Everybody pulling out, right? You know how I told you? Oh, I don't know if you watched this yesterday or not, but I told you that I forgot something. I did, and it's kind of important. Okay, look, we need to talk about the Treaty of Versailles. What happened at this peace conference? Because this is huge. This is the biggest cause of World War One, two, World War Two. Okay. However, every person who was involved in World War One is not there. Okay? Tsar Nicholas II from Russia is not there. He's dead. You're like, what? Well, they had a revolution, the communist revolution. I promise. I will tell you about it. I promise. Um, but he's dead. Okay? Okay. The leader of Russia isn't there. V.I. Lenin, whatever, doesn't care. He's kind of turning Russia communist, so he has better things to deal with than this. Okay? Another big player who is not there, Kaiser Wilhelm. Well, he was the Emperor of Germany. Why is he not there? Well, technically, Germany signed an armistice, which isn't a surrender. Guys, England signed the armistice too, because it's a both sides decide to do it. Okay? But in the eyes of many Germans, that was the same as giving up, the same as surrendering. And Germans don't surrender. So they decide, there we go, to get rid of Kaiser Wilhelm. He's not dead. Kaiser Wilhelm will be, what's the word, exiled, and he'll live like the rest of his life in France. It's like the ultimate embarrassment for a German. Ugh, I had to live in France? Yeah. So he's not dead, but he's not in charge either. There's a new government. I'm going to talk about this government a lot more. Don't write it. You do not have to write it, but I do want you to see the word. Oops. Oops. There we go. Don't write it. I mean, I guess you can if you want to, but you don't have to. Because again, this is one of your words that's coming for the 1930s or maybe World War II. I don't know. Okay, so the government is called the, are you ready? Weimar Republic. It's not the Wiener. Kids are always like, oh, it's a Wiener Republic. No, it's not. It's not even spelled the same way. And there's no N. Weimar. The Weimar Republic, it's just not really a very good government. But the Weimar Republic is now the government of Germany. Okay. Um, it is a republic, so they vote. Okay, listen. If the Weimar Republic had not been created, Adolf Hitler would have never come to power. Why not? Well, if Kaiser Wilhelm hadn't been kicked out, then his son would have been the next king. And then his son would have been the next king, and his son, and his son, and his son. And Hitler would have never been able to be in charge of Germany. When you look at the history of Hitler, it's like, it's so crazy. There's so many near death experiences, near misses like this. I mean, it's just crazy. Assassination attempts. Crazy. Escaping poison gas issues in World War One. Crazy. But just understand, the Weimar Republic, it's really important. Here we go. Because, and I'm going to talk about it more when we get there, but again, Hitler wouldn't have been able to take over. He would have had to have been royalty, and he so wasn't. He wasn't even German, he was Austrian. Now, Austrians are Germanic, they're the same people group, but they're not the same country. Okay? So that's a big thing. The other thing with the Weimar Republic is this: England kind of helped create this, And I mean, so do we. We know how to do a republic, right? So the leaders in charge of the Weimar Republic at the Treaty of Versailles, at this meeting, they're pretty much going to do whatever England says because they have power because England says. Make sense? Everybody sits around and they say, okay, why are we here? France says, are you kidding me? Did you see our land? Because somebody's going to pay for it. We didn't jump into this war. We got pulled into this war when Germany declared war on us. So, Germany, you have to pay for it. You have to clean up this land. Hmm. What's going to happen is Germany is going to end up basically being big time punished for World War One. Okay, now listen. The Ottoman Empire will get punished too. Austria will get punished too. Okay. Germany's going to take the brunt of the punishment. They didn't start this war, but they did blow it up, making it 10 times worse than it probably should have been. Not probably. Let me change that statement. Germany did blow this war up and make it worse than it should have been. Again, a million times, I say this over and over again. You guys know I love German culture, language, history, music. You know I do. They did blow this war out of proportion. I will say this though. I personally agree with historians who say if this hadn't happened, there's no way Kaiser Wilhelm would have allowed this or this. Remember, he's cousins with the King of England. Maybe if he hadn't been overthrown by the German people, maybe the punishment on Germany wouldn't have been so severe, and maybe it wouldn't have caused crazies like Hitler. Although Hitler was probably crazy to begin with, but that's okay. Okay, so, okay, Germany first. I'm trying to think of the order, honestly, of my pictures, and I don't really think that. Oh, that's right. I do want you to see these pictures. I'm sorry. Um, these are pictures of destruction from World War One. Things that France and Belgium and all these places are saying somebody is paying for this because we didn't cause this. And I get it. I understand feeling that way. Again, like I see both sides. I don't fault France or any of the other countries for feeling that way, and I don't fault Germany for saying, "Oh, we signed an armistice. We don't have to pay." I get both sides. And some of these pictures are Germany, not just France. I mean, I don't even know how you begin to clean that up. Like, have your parents ever said, "Go clean your room now"? And you walk into your room and you just look around and you're like, "I don't even know where to start." That's how I look at these messes. I'm like, where do you even start? Oh man, that was an accident. How do you even start to clean up messes like this? It just blows my mind. I just don't even know. Look at this. Deaths. Look at the blue column. Deaths. Okay. Um, we're looking at the Allies first. In 4 years, Yes. Germany has, whoa, France has lost 1.3 million. How does France have so many deaths? The majority of it, honestly, is civilians because of poison gas. Where the main fighting was, poison gas doesn't just stay there, it goes around. And there were a lot of civilians that got nailed in villages that weren't even being attacked because of the poison gas. Big time. The other one I want to point out to you is Russia. Almost 2 million people dead in 4 years. Hey, we did pretty good. Only 53,000. We only fought for 1 year. What if we had fought for all 3 years? 4 years. 4 years. Sorry. I don't know, but it would have been more than 53. Kids are always like, oh, look at Japan. Their population isn't big enough to send like massive numbers like other people did. So that's still definitely, I mean, 300 people. What if 300 people, I don't know, died in World War III from your class this year? You're like, we only have like 800 in our class. I know. You're going to feel that loss. Even though you look at that number and go, 300, well, that's nothing. Mm, that's a loss. Now when you look at the wounded, France, Japan, Russia, 5 million people are wounded and almost 2 million are killed. That's 7 million people. That's so many in 4 years. England, 2 million. Us, 200,000. That's over Midland. Well, no, it's not. Just kidding. It is bigger than Midland. I was going to say Midland twice, but it's not. These right here, these are our totals. Okay. Totals right here. It's just crazy. Now look at the Central Powers. Austria, we have 1.2 million dead. Wounded, 3.6 million. Germany? Why does Germany have so much, like such a higher rate, not rate, but such a higher number than Austria? Hmm. Even the wounded. Maybe poison gas? Hmm. I always think the percentages are interesting. It's crazy. Anyway, oh, I wanted to look at, get my big old head out of the way. 76% for Russia. So it's hard to look at destruction like this, or this, or this, or this, or this, and go, oh yeah, we just tied. It's cool. We tied. Yikes. How do you, how do you, whatever that in your head? That's hard. There are some punishments that are about to happen, and Germany will accept them. Now, again, I don't know if Kaiser Wilhelm would have accepted them. I don't know. This new government will. First of all, Germany has to stand and admit total responsibility for this war. We are sorry for killing all of your friends, your brothers, your uncles, your dads. This war was our fault. We accept responsibility. It's not that big of a deal. To me, it is. I don't know. Maybe it's not to you. It's hard enough to accept responsibility sometimes when you really are guilty, but when you're not guilty, like I am not, I am not, I don't know, maybe you will. I will not accept responsibility for something that I didn't do. I won't. That's why I don't understand y'all's I ain't snitching on people. I don't get it. I'm not going to accept responsibility for it. To me, that's a big deal. Is Germany responsible for the war? Is Germany responsible for her part of making the war worse? Second of all, Germany's going to have to give up colonies. We've talked about some of the German colonies in Africa, and they had some in the Pacific. Is that big of a deal? I mean, nobody wants to give up colonies. I get it, but honestly, that's probably the most thing here. This is a doozy, you guys. I've told you all year long. When you lose a war, you have to give the winner something. It's called reparations. Look at the word reparation. Look. If I stick an I in there, what do you see? Repair Asians. Don't stick an I on there on your vocab quiz or you're going to get it wrong. If you do stick an I in there, you can remember what reparations are. It's money or stuff that is given to the winner of a war to help them repair. Germany's going to have to pay reparations to France to help her repair her land. All right, we accept responsibility. We're the ones that tore it up. Okay. And to England, because it costs a lot of money to bury the dead. Okay, we accept that responsibility too. And to England because of all the ships you blew up. Okay, we did that too. And to America for their debt. Okay, we did that. And to Italy. Okay. And to Serbia. Okay, wait, we didn't fight Serbia. That was Austria. And to Serbia. And to Austria. I wish I could have seen that. I wish I could have seen the moment that they gave Germany that total $33 billion. Because, see, in 1918, billions, it wasn't really a thought like it is today. Germany's like, oh, yeah, you mean 3 million, right? No, no. 33 billion. And understand this too. That's not the total cost of the war. That's what they had added up 2 years after the war. I don't know if I put total cost of the war. I didn't. I didn't put total cost. Sorry. That's not total cost, guys. Again, it's just what they had already added. And I would have paid money to have seen them say, oh, yeah, you have to pay for Austria's damage too. This brand new government of Germany looks at Austria like, and Austria's like, nobody could have paid $33 billion. Nobody back then. Um, Even England, who was crazy, filthy, stinking rich, couldn't have just written a check for $33 billion. Germany's like, how are we supposed to do that? And England says, oh, well, we already got to figure it out. Your very first reparation payment. Okay, we already know exactly what to do. And here's what we're going to do. You'll pay us in payments. We'll start a payment plan. You'll pay us, England, and then we, England, will divvy it out. We got it. We'll divvy it out to everybody who deserves it. Germany says, okay, but who's gonna help us repair Germany? Because guys, parts of Germany are messed up too, right? Here, this is trenched out land here. Well, this piece of Germany over here has some serious problems. And this piece of Germany over here, where they fought Russia, has some problems. And Germany's like, okay, well, okay, we accept responsibility, bad Kaiser, right? But who's gonna help us fix our land? What do we do? Where do we get that money from? Our people are going home and fathers are dead and they don't even know where families are, and buildings, what are they called? Towns are destroyed and people don't have jobs. And what do we, taxes? What? Welcome to being in charge, Weimar Republic. Um, their very first payment, see, England's got this figured out too. Their very first payment is going to be given to England, and it's going to be a whole bunch of tanks and airplanes and machine guns and poison gas canisters and U-boats. Germany's going to have to demilitarize. Okay, this word demilitarize, this is also something we see quite often after a war. The loser is almost always going to have to demilitarize some. Demilitarize means cut your military down. That's not weird. Countries almost always have to do that. Okay? However, Germany's going to go through something that we call a total demilitarization. It's not what it sounds like. It doesn't mean they literally have no government. I mean, no military. They do. However, Germany was only allowed to have 100,000 people in her military. Total. That's less than the population of Midland, you guys. Can less than the population of Midland protect a country this big? Oh, but that's okay. That's okay. We got that figured out too. Because this is no longer Germany. Oops. Germany's going to have to go through this demilitarization where she gets rid of her excess weapons and stuff, and that stuff is all going to go to England. And again, England is going to divvy it up. It's part of their reparations. Okay. Getting cut up into pieces. Here we go. Has Austria gotten punished yet? I can't change it. Can you hear the dogs? Okay, I can't change this picture, so let's just do it again. Here we go. All right, girls, this right here is World War I, Europe. Okay, this is what Europe looked like in World War I. This on the right is what Europe looks like now. You know what? I can put my happy little face right here, and it won't be in the way. We're good. Okay, let's compare. So we have our two maps. I'm telling you, there's no difference in England here. That's why I covered it up. No big deal. Okay, France. Did France gain any land? They did get this little piece, this tiny little piece over here. It's called the Rhineland. It looks like this. You'll see it spelled later, but it's okay. I'll go ahead and put it right here so you can see it. Nope. Wrong river. Rhineland. The Rhine River is the main river that runs in that area right there. And the Rhineland is awesome as far as growing farmland and stuff. Right now it's trenched out, but that's okay. So, I mean, they get a tiny, okay, whatever, right? You have Belgium, you have Luxembourg, Netherlands, pretty much the same. Denmark, Sweden, Norway, we're good. Yeah? Okay, let's go down here. Switzerland wasn't in the war. Okay, we're good. Girls, Freya. Oh, she talks back to me all the time. Okay, Switzerland, we're good. Italy. Are you looking? Don't expect me to always tell you the answer. Did Italy gain any land? However, it's not what Italy wanted. When they were talking about punishing Austria, I mean, look at Austria. Austria, little bitty Austria. This is where Austria just gets punished big time. When they were talking about punishing her, look, Austria used to be this entire coast right here. Italy said, "Ooh, we want that. Please, we want that." I mean, we switched sides for you, England. We want that. England said, "All right, we're going to create a whole new country out of it, Yugoslavia." And I say England like they're totally in charge. They're not. France is involved too. Okay, we're there. But a whole new country gets created. Italy's not cool with that. Spoiler alert, they might be mad in World War II. So just understand, Italy does want this. They do get a tiny piece of Austria up here, like this tiny little sliver. Who cares? Okay. Germany. Germany gets cut big time. Basically, this whole side right here is now part of Poland. It's this right here. Okay. Germany gets cut quite a bit. It's bigger than Austria. This piece of Germany up here is made into a new old country called East Prussia. Prussia used to exist up here and down here. Well, they just brought it back, called it East Prussia. Okay. Russia. Should Russia be punished? They also did an armistice, you guys. That means we tied. Yeah, well, they get punished too. Look, Russia used to share a border with Germany. They used to come all the way up to this weird little hump thing. That's this right here. Russia loses all of this. You're like, well, that's not that much. Yeah, but you still took land away. Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and then of course East Prussia. VI Lenin honestly doesn't care. He is making them communist. That's less mouths for his government to feed. He's like, whatever. So it's not that big of a deal. Okay. If you look here, down here, Romania actually gained some land. Hey, because she fought with the Allies. Part of the land that she gained is this right here, which came from the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Guys, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, Austria is the biggest shock here. Austria went from this big to this. And out of this, what we did is we separated Austria and Hungary into two different countries. Okay? Then we created a brand new country up here called Czechoslovakia, which is just going to kind of be a mess of mix matching people. And I'll come back to that in a minute. Hold on. Then they came down here and created another, just shoving people together country called Yugoslavia. Then they took apart the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire, their punishment is this right here. Okay. The Ottoman Empire used to look like this kind of, I don't know, dark brown, I guess. Okay. Well, Turkey is made its own country. Yes. Okay. And then this right here is controlled by the French, the blue. This right here, look at all this. This light brown is controlled by England, and Italy is going to get to control this green part. Now, slowly over the next, I don't know, few years, these places are going to be let go, and we're going to have freedom. Okay? But the Ottoman Empire is completely dismantled. It's gone. No Ottoman Empire at all. What's left of the Seljuk Turks who created the Ottoman Empire is Turkey. Okay? Okay, let's go back here. Look, especially at Czechoslovakia and especially at Yugoslavia. Okay, Czechoslovakia was made out of this area right here. Basically, this right here. This area. So you've got a very small amount of Germans up here in this area, an area of Czechoslovakia called the Sudetenland. It matters. It's coming back. It used to be part of Germany. I don't know. Hitler might want that back. You also have a ton of Austrians that live down here, a ton of Hungarians that live down here. You have some Polish scattered up here, but your two biggest groups are Slovaks. I said two. Slovaks, sorry, Slavs, and Czechs. There's also Jews living in there too. Okay? Czechoslovakia is just this brand new country that gets created, and it's all of these different people groups who are just crammed together. Oh crap, I can't remember. I can't remember if the Czechs, did I put it up here? I didn't. I can't remember if the Czechs or the Slavs were put in charge. It doesn't really matter. We'll talk about it again later. But right now I can't remember. But guys, we talked about this when we talked about like the partition of Africa. You can't just cram a whole bunch of people together in a country that they don't want to be part of. You're like, but wait a minute. All those people live together relatively happy under Austria? Yeah, that's because Austria allowed all these different people groups to keep their basic culture. As long as you paid your taxes to Austria and you claimed, yes, I'm part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, they didn't care if you spoke your own language. They didn't care which Christianity or whatever, because the Romani, I forgot about the Romani. We in America tend to call the Romani gypsies. They also live in here. So you've got all these different groups, and Under the Czechoslovakian government, yeah, they're not really allowed to keep their culture. Well, that's a problem. Czechoslovakia does not exist today. It is two different countries, the Czech Republic and Slovakia. Because you cannot just cram people together and expect them to get along. I hear this every year, but we do it in America. We chose to do it in America. We chose to create this big mix mash of cultures. Czechoslovakia was just crammed together. So was Yugoslavia. Are you surprised that Serbia is completely gone? Look, we have Romania, but she got bigger. We have Bulgaria, she got smaller. We have Greece and Albania. There is no Montenegro, Macedonia, Bosnia, shoot, I can't think of all the other ones. Herzegovina. There are none of those down here anymore. None. But see, the problem is all of the people that live here, they're not all Slavs like you see here. I'm trying to think of all the countries this is today. This is so many different countries, it's not even funny. And what's crazy is I remember I was in high school and I remember when the whole like the Bosnians were fighting each other. And we were sending it wasn't the Bosnians, it was the Bosnians and then somebody else were fighting, Serbs, I think. And I was getting ready for a choir concert. And I was getting ready for a choir concert at my grandmother's house because my grandmother was fixing my hair because it was a 1940s thing and I had to have like a 1940s hairdo. And she was watching the news, right? And they were talking about us sending troops to help. And I said something. I said, I don't know why we're getting involved. It's none of our business. And I got it talking to. My grandma was like, they're killing each other over there. Guys, I remember them killing each other because they wanted their freedom and I didn't understand. I didn't know all these different groups shoved into one country. Guys, Yugoslavia does not exist today. You can't just cram a bunch of people groups together and be like, huh, get along. Can you? I mean, can I just throw you in a room with a bunch of people that you don't know and you don't like and say, you better take care of business and make friends? I mean, I don't operate that way. I don't. I'll be honest. I'm a jerk, whatever. I don't operate that way. You can't do that with people. But that's what just happened with this right here. And remember this too. I've told you a million times. Where'd my thing go? Baby countries always struggle. We just created a massive amount of baby countries, mostly in Eastern Europe. They're always going to struggle. And we're about to enter the Great Depression. And can a baby country successfully deal with something like the Great Depression? No. Established countries like us in England couldn't even deal with it. You're like, yeah, huh, we got through it. Yeah, because World War II started. Yikes. A lot of these countries are going to struggle big time. Well, we have an idea about how to help that. It's called the mandate system. Look right here. All these new countries, they need help. And they do, y'all. I think the mandate system is actually probably the best idea here. The mandate system is kind of like having a mentor. Think of it like that. Allied countries were like assigned to to one of these new countries. All these new countries here. Okay. Um, an allied country was assigned to one of them. I think we had Poland, but I could be wrong. I don't know. We were assigned to a country. We do not, and this is important, own that country. We don't even really occupy. That means keep troops in that country unless we're asked. We're just helping them. We're mentoring them. We are, if they have a question, we help. If they have a political, I don't know, revolt or upheaval or whatever, we help. That's smart. But again, once the Great Depression happens, how much are we going to pay attention to our country that we're supposed to be keeping up with, as opposed to keeping up with our country, US? I mean, when I've been a mentor teacher, I will be honest, when things are crazy in December, I'm like, girl, you're on your own, first year teacher. I got to deal with my stuff. It's the way it is. Once the Great Depression starts, all these countries who were mentoring these baby countries kind of go, figure it out. I'll help you out as much as I can, but good luck. When it's time to sign this treaty, everybody's passing it around the table, everybody's signing it. Yes, Germany signs it. But again, think about it. Do you think Kaiser Wilhelm would have signed it? Because again, I don't know, you guys. I don't. I think if they didn't have this new Weimar Republic, I don't know if they would have signed it. That's beside the point. Who cares? Our president, Woodrow Wilson. Oh, I have a picture of him. This is our president right here. Okay. Our president looks this thing over and says, I can't sign this unless you put in my 14 points. Okay, don't have a heart attack. We're not talking about all 14 points. I know you all just looked at the time left in this video. We're only talking about like a couple. There were literally 14 things that Woodrow Wilson wanted added to this. You will learn about them next year in US history. We only deal with the big one. It's called the League of Nations right here. Woodrow Wilson wanted to have a group of nations, a League of Nations. That the idea is, if in the future some crazy comes along, like, I don't know, Adolf Hitler, sorry, the idea is the exact same, honestly, as the formal alliances, except we don't have alliances. We have this League of Nations that will all come together and say, no, you can't do that, or we're all coming against you. Sound like a good idea? I mean, if you're about to take over, I don't know, Austria, and you know that 100 other countries are going to rise up against you at the same time, if you do that, are you going to do it? Maybe not. Sometimes, like, the idea here is to make the consequence so big that a future crazy might not do it. Well, there's a bit of a problem with it. The League of Nations will actually only end up having 32 countries join. Guys, the League of Nations doesn't exist today. I know what you just did because I hear it every year. Yeah, nuh-uh. It's the United Nations today. And it's a little more successful, a little more effective than the League of Nations. The League of Nations is not going to work. Okay? It's not going to work for a few reasons. First of all, 32 countries isn't enough to deter a crazy like Hitler. It's not enough. You need more countries to be a part of this group. You also kind of need its founder to be in charge of it. If the person who comes up with the idea won't even back the idea, do you have a lot of faith in it? Probably not. If I tell you, oh my gosh, this new, I don't know, whatever pizza tastes so good. Here, have a bite. I mean, I'm not going to eat it, but go ahead. You're not going to eat it. You're going to be like, whoa, wait a minute. Why aren't you going to eat it? Same type idea. We're not part of the League of Nations. You're like, why? Well, after the 14 points were added to the Treaty of Versailles, and the treaty is given back to Woodrow Wilson, and it's time for Wilson to sign it. He declines and passes it along again. I'm sure England's like, what the heck? What are you doing? He said it's too harsh on Germany. It's too harsh. I can't sign it. It's too harsh. Should they be punished? Yeah. This much? I don't know. He said, I can't, with a good conscience, sign it. Not signing the treaty means we're also not part of the League of Nations. So again, the leader of the League of Nations won't even join. Treaty of Versailles, what do you think? Fair? I don't know. Some of you will say, yeah, it is, because Germany did make the war worse than it should have been. They did. And some of you will say, no. Other countries should have been like, things should have been more equal. That's up to you. But I will tell you, the people of Germany hate this treaty. The Weimar Republic signs it. And then as a result, afterwards, the Weimar Republic is kind of seen as England's, I don't know what the word is. They'll do whatever England says. Puppet. There we go. The Weimar Republic is kind of seen as England's puppet. England isn't puppeting them around, but the Germans are going to see them that way. They have no respect for the Weimar Republic at all. No, I mean, there might be a future crazy coming that might be a little bit upset about the treaty, right? Bye.